Well, hello there, folks, and welcome to another awesome video. Well, hopefully it'll be awesome on the world of training and running workshops and doing it the best way possible so that you can be the standout trainer in your industry. So in today's video, we want to talk about the concept of the paperwork. Yes, I know it's a bit of a bland topic. I know that nobody wakes up excited about the paperwork. But in today's video, we're talking about three major errors or three major mistakes that I see with people and their session plans or their workshop plans, so to speak, right? So we need to step back and we need to ask ourselves, why do we have these plans? Why have we got workshop session plans, syntaxes, PowerPoint notes, whatever we want to call them, right? And we need to appreciate there's a few things that ultimately they are looking to serve, right? And if we get these clear in our mind, then we are going to have some very good, high quality documents, right? Number one is ultimately it's there to record information for what you're going to say. Whoa, what a crazy idea, right? It's going to have all the information that you're going to share with your audience, right? Second thing is it's going to list ultimately the resources and equipment that you need to source, you need to find, you need to have ready, and also maybe letting other people know what you're going to need for your event, right? Now, the third part about it is it's going to have the timings for each of the things that's going to happen. Now, let's zoom out for a second, though, and let's think big picture. Ultimately, though, the document is there to serve the purpose of what happens if you die. I know that's a crazy idea, but what happens if you get run over by a bus tomorrow and you can't run the event the way that is in your mind, right? So what the session plan, the syntax, or the presenter notes do is ultimately get all the ideas out of your brain and onto a piece of paper. The challenge is, and what that does, it allows other people to run the event in the intended fashion that you might have thought was in your mind, right? But here's the thing, there are three common errors that we see people make when they're designing their session plans. Number one, their learning outcome or their intent for the event is often left out, unclear, or people are left guessing, right? So it may be something like, oh, the intent of the event is to get people excited. Or by the end of the session, people will be able to understand X, Y, Z, which is okay, but it's not really clear enough for the organizers, clear enough for the person that may be co-facilitating, or ultimately anybody that's attending the event, right? So you need to be crystal clear in what is your outcome, and you need to dictate it and get it very clear on your paperwork so that everybody coming and everybody running the event is clear in their mind. What are you trying to achieve? And if you achieve that, will that be what is the ultimate outcome, right? And what people are paid for. Second part is leaving information out of the plans. What we mean by that is sometimes people will write on the session plan or the syntax or the whatever code or things that only the trainer or the presenter may know. And what we mean by that is the trainer may write icebreaker or housekeeping or links to XYZ resource, right? But the thing is, if somebody is reading that, like icebreaker, well, what does that actually mean? If you are run over by a bus and somebody picks up the paper and it goes icebreaker, well, what is the actual icebreaker that is intended to be run? What is the housekeeping? What is the emergency exit for wherever you're running the event, right? You need to be as specific as you can so you lock that information down on paper so that anybody and everyone can say what is required, right? And if you're doing, I don't know, a greet the audience, right? Or a thank the audience, you probably want to state on the paper, what do you want them to say? How do you want them to say it, right? So ultimately, it needs to be crystal clear. Now, caveat. You don't want to script everything out. You don't want to say blah, 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 blah. You want to make sure that you list the dot points so that everybody is saying whatever needs to be said, right? And, you know, if you're running an icebreaker, what does that look like? What does it sound like? What words are going to be included in that icebreaker? Or if you're running an activity, right? Same deal. Don't ever assume that somebody just sees the words and immediately knows what you're intending. Now, the third thing is not mentioning equipment and resources. What we mean by this, if you're looking to play a video, put the link on the session plan. Crazy idea, right? If you don't put the link, well, then how are other people expected to find the link? Right? You can't just say play XYZ video because you've been run over by a bus. Someone picks it up and goes, what video? Where do I find the video? How do I play the video? Right? The other part about it is equipment, resources. If you want them to use a piece of equipment, make sure you write down what it is, where to find it, how to get it ready, and all of that stuff, right? If you want people to be seeing a slide or a handout, make sure you write it down. If you want them to see slide number 3, make sure you refer to slide number 3, right? Now, the thing is, though, in the world of training, in the world of presenting, in the world of running workshops, there's going to be a very broad degree of documentation that you're going to come across. You're going to come across session plans. You're going to come across trainer notes. You're going to come across syntaxes. You're going to come across scripts and all these different things. And you're going to come across run sheets as well. All these different pieces of terminology to describe the paperwork, right? Ultimately, you need to find what works for you. And if you are picking up somebody else's documents and using them, make sure that you ask yourself, okay, do I know what this means, this means, this means? And on the flip side, if you are ever creating documentation for other people, make sure that there is absolutely no assumptions, absolutely no incompleteness in the document so that everybody can pick it up, run with it, and replicate your genius and your intention for that event, right? Absolutely, in my experience, I use a lot of sticky notes. I use syntaxes. I use trainer plans and all these different things, and every different document has a different intention behind it. But it is very clear, and anything and everything I create, anybody can pick up and run with immediately. On that note, folks, if you got some value from the video, as always, like, comment, share, let's get the message out there, and let's learn to clean up our documents and make sure that they contain anything and everything that you as a presenter would need. But also, if you're hit by a bus, God forbid, that anybody else could run your session in the best way possible and really present your materials in a way that's going to be really positive and really impactful. Thanks for watching, team, and we'll see you on the next one. My name is Mark Miles, helping you become the standout trainer in your industry and getting your content as memorable as possible. Thanks for watching, team, and we'll see you on the next one.